turmeric is a great spice that's known for health benefits like helping with achy joints. WebMD.com has all kinds of other uses for turmeric that I had never heard of. But we're going to make a rice dish today that has turmeric and ginger, and I'm going to use brown rice. Now, I have purchased turmeric from McCormick Spices in these small containers, or even I have a big one from Trader Joe's. I also put it into a recipe that I already have listed on here. I'll link to it up in the corner here. It's a raw cauliflower dish, and it has turmeric in it. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to make this brown rice with turmeric and ginger. I'm starting with a large pan because I'm going to put in 2 cups of brown rice. Now, if you only have white rice, you can use that, but brown is much, much healthier for you. And instead of using water, I'm going to use 4 cups of vegetable broth. And you can use chicken broth if you want. You can use water if you want. Or you can use a combination of broth and water, as long as it's 4 cups. And this is just going to give it that much more flavor. I like a flavorful side dish. So after I get that going, I'm going to set the heat on high, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. And once it boils, we'll come back. Once it boils, you want to turn the heat down to fairly low and put a lid on it. Now, you're going to want it to simmer. Actually, I'm going to stir it first. Normally, brown rice will simmer for anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes, but we're going to undercook it just a bit. So we're only going to simmer it for 30 minutes. And if you're making white rice, normally you would cook that for about 15, so shorten that by about 5 minutes. So white rice, cook it for 10 instead of 15, and like I said, brown rice, we're going to cook this for 30. And in the meantime, we'll chop some vegetables while this is cooking. For the vegetables, I'm going to start by chopping, well, I already have, obviously, garlic. And this takes a lot of garlic. We're going to want 2 tablespoons. So I've got a tablespoon in here. I've got 1 more here. You can mince it if you want, but if you mince it, it's more likely to burn in the pan. So I had almost 1 whole head of garlic that I had pulled a few cloves off, maybe 2 or 3 in the past. But this took the rest of the cloves. So if you don't have much garlic in the house, you're going to need more. So this will be on your shopping list. And that will make about 2 tablespoons, so I'm just going to put it all into this little dish. And then for the chopped ginger, I'm going to want 1 tablespoon. So I've already chopped some here, so I'll put it in here to measure. And here's my fresh ginger, and I tend to, you know, everybody has their own way of doing this, but I'll chop off little circles that are about the size of a quarter or a nickel, and trim off the outside skin, and that's still not a tablespoon. So you get the idea here, and if you didn't, you'll see that I'm just peeling off the edge, the skin, and then cutting them in smaller pieces, lengthwise and crosswise, and that's probably enough. If you like ginger, you can add more. Then we're going to have 1 carrot. I've already peeled this carrot and trimmed off the ends, and you're just going to cut it into circles like that, and I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. You get the idea. And then we want 1 onion. So for the onion, I'm actually going to get a bigger knife. And you can trim it however you want. But typically when I'm doing this, I'll cut it like this. Now you see I'm not cutting it all the way through. This end is actually still together. And then I'm slicing. So I'll put that in a bowl, probably with the carrot, just to get it small. Just think about this cooking in rice and what size you want it to be. All right, and that's it for trimming the vegetables. When the rice is getting close to being done, in either a really large fry pan, which I don't have, or a big saucepan like this, put 2 tablespoons of olive oil and heat it on a medium heat. And I'm not going to make you watch while it's heating. Once that oil is heated, you want to add 2 tablespoons of the turmeric. I know that's a lot, but that's what you're adding. And then we're going to put in that garlic that we measured, the 2 tablespoons of garlic, and the 1 tablespoon of chopped ginger root, and the 1 onion and the 1 carrot. And then saute this, and we'll give it a good stir. Get all the vegetables coated in all the oil, and of course, they'll all get coated in the turmeric too, which is good. And you want to cook this till the onions start to get a little bit golden. So even though I put 2 tablespoons of oil in here, with all that turmeric, it just feels really dry. So you don't want to walk away from this for too long before stirring it again. So I won't make you watch while I get this golden brown, but when we come back, I'll let you know how long it took. Well, I've sufficiently gotten a lot of dark stuff on the bottom of the pan, so obviously I've been multitasking. Now, I'm ready to put the rice in, and once I do that, it's only going to take a couple minutes to cook up, depending on how wet you like the rice. So 2 minutes to 5 minutes. So I put all the rice in and give it a really good stir. Now you see why I didn't use the skillet. I needed a pan with high sides, like a mini soup pot. All right. So this makes a great side dish. And I'm vegetarian, so it's great for me. Now, by the time I produce the video, I'm also going to try it cold. So, maybe it would be good cold as a side dish or even inside a wrap. Sometimes I do wraps with a collard leaf or a romaine lettuce leaf, or even in the summer when I grow Swiss chard. This would be good as a filler. So, oh my gosh, this looks so good. I'm going to plate some up and see what it looks like in a bowl. So here's the brown rice with turmeric and ginger in a bowl, and I've tasted it. It's really good. And you notice there isn't any added salt, other than the fact that I used broth. So there was a little bit of salt in the broth. But if you use water, of course, then there'd be no salt. So this is a great way to get turmeric into your diet. And if you use brown rice, it's going to be a lot more healthy of a dish than if you use white.